Tim, this movie is set at the beginning of the 20th century, 20th century, but to me it's really actual because it's polarized between good and evil, and it seems really connected to our present. I would like to know if you feel the same.
I think this movie is connected to our present in two very distinctive ways. In Westerns, you pit good against evil. There's the white hat and the black hat. And I think that's one of the reasons that Westerns are so popular is because there's a clear morality. But, and everybody in the world, so many people in the world right now, particularly in our country, don't find any middle ground between good and evil. They think, particularly in politics, that they're good and everybody else is bad. If you agree with me, you're good. If you disagree with me, you're bad. And that's the way that Westerns are constructed. However, this Western has a compendium of characters, mainly my character, but also my son, and Scott Hayes' character, who are compromised. They're in a gray area between good and evil. And that's where most of us live. And so I like a film that presents the poles of good and evil, but in which all the characters, or for the most part, the characters are a little bit of both. And that's certainly true about the title character. I also think this is relevant in the present world because it's about a guy who's trying to protect his son from modernity and from the violence that's coming in from the outside world. And you can, I think, easily see the metaphor as something for COVID-19, that, we can't close our borders. You can't shut the world out. And that's what the characters in this movie learn.
One of the aspects I found really interesting in this movie is the relationship between your character and his son. And I would like to know, how did you work on this aspect with Gavin Lewis? If Potsy give you some advice or some time to create a bond together?
Well, I got along great with Gavin. He's a really wonderful kid. And so it was very easy to play scenes with him. But more importantly, I have 3 sons of my own. And I had the great fortune of one of them, my oldest, having been on the crew for this movie, working in the art department. So I had my son, Henry Nelson, there with me every day. And so my feelings of fatherhood were ever present. And so I really didn't need to do much imagining because my son was actually right there off camera.
And you say that, of course, Western is a movie genre really popular in America. I would like to know a reflection on why Western are so bound with American imaginary.
Well, the Western, in a sense, is the quintessential American genre because it first of all portrays its heroes as rugged individualists who buck laws and who buck the norm. It celebrates individualism over collectivism, and that's very American. We like our individual rights in America. Secondly, it portrays American history, which was one of westward expansion, as something which centered around the gun. And that's very true about America, and it's why we love our gun rights in America. And so in the Western, you have an individualist with a gun, very American. And then finally, you put that into film, because Westerns were originally books. They were serial books that were they were read. It was fiction. But then you put that into the American art form, which is cinema, and you have this great cocktail that is so completely American. And then each generation is able to reinvent the genre.
I would like to know, you also a producer in this movie, and I would like to know which were your contribution to the developing of the movie.
I brought cast in. Scott Hayes is a friend of mine, and I knew he'd be perfect for the role of Curry, so I brought him in. I worked on the script extensively with Potsy. I worked on the edit of the movie with Potsy and the sound design with Potsy. So I was involved through the entire process. And I sent the movie to Venice, and I was the one who applied for this festival, so that's why we're here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet.
And congratulations for your movie. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet
Thank
you.
you. Nice to meet you.
It was my pleasure.